God is just coming to give you direction, And to some people, there are those people who say they were shown, they had a vision.
No,
That is their husband or that is their wife. But okay, I believe it does exist.
No.
It exists. Yes, it is.
In my circle, there's no one who's ever had
Not,
a dream,
it's not for everybody.
or prophecy or whatever, and
It's
it
not-
came to pass.
It's not for everybody, actually.
But maybe 1% out of 10.
It's not for everybody. I think most people have come into a point whereby they exaggerate it in a way.
Yeah, because it has misled a lot of people.
Yeah, because for one, you can think about somebody and dream about them. You can have a crush on somebody and dream about them.
Yeah.
You can have infatuations and dream about them. So there are all those things. But you see, mostly it's supposed to be like, if a guy comes and tells you, I was shown you in my dream, you're supposed to be my wife, then you tell them, wait until also God shows me, because it's supposed to be 2 ways.
Then afternoon, welcome to Ponder with Cherry. Today I have a special guest and we're going to talk about, or rather we're going to ponder on a very, very interesting topic. And our topic for today is Christian dating. So I'm going to let my guest introduce herself and then we're going to dive into the topic. So karibu sana.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, Eunice here. It's a privilege to be a guest today. Just wait to see what is cooking. It's a very interesting topic.
Yes. So for anyone can listen to it. See, I go limited to Christians only. Yes. So my first question to you is that does God approve dating? Because in the Bible, sikuwa hiyo na mtu yote alikuwa na date. Ilikuwa ni I saw this wife for you and yes, I'm choosing this wife for you. Mungu alitengenezea Eve, so yeah.
Okay. When we look at the book of Genesis from the beginning, we see, yes, God created Eve for Adam because aliona it's not good for a man to be so alone, akamcreatia a helper. But after the sin, God said he will never choose a wife for anybody. So what God does, when it comes to marriage and stuff, is for you to involve God in that relationship. It's for you to give God the first priority. Like God has to come first before anything else. Because we need God in everything that we do.
Okay, so you're suggesting that people should pray before they delve into dating?
Yeah, it's good to have priorities. First of all, pray about it. Ask God if God this is your will. Let it continue.
But now in the Bible, hakuna mtu aliwahi date.
Now, okay. First and foremost, a relationship, it's more of when you're dating, especially in a Christianity review, you're dating for marriage. So it's marriage. It's getting to know one another. Let me put it like that. Because you cannot just marry somebody you don't know. Totally, you can't marry somebody that you don't know. So you have to get to know each other. I think the dating one, it came afterwards. It came afterwards, but yeah, it's just getting to know each other. Getting to know each other, the likes, the do's, the don'ts, and then you get to know now. First and foremost, you have to understand as a person. You have to know what do you want in a man, or what does a man want in a woman in the first place. After that, then now you seek God. You already, when you have already seen everything that you want in that man, not though they are not perfect. Nobody is perfect, but you can always see the things that you want in a man. Not, you cannot get maybe 100%, maybe you will get a 70%, and you can see if this other 30% is okay for you, you can compromise, or it's okay for you to um to say these are just yellow yellow flags. When you're like, you are, these ones I'll be able to, I'm okay with it, because you also as a person, you're not perfect. You're not perfect. So yeah, you cannot get somebody, you cannot just get married to somebody that you don't know. So I think the word dating came later. So this is just for getting to know each other, because once you get to understand, to have a conversation with this person, you bond, you get to understand, am I getting into a point whereby I understand this person? Are we clicking? Are we bonding? Are you struggling to communicate with that person? If you feel you are really struggling to communicate with that person, then it's not your person. There are things that are actually human nature, because God has given us the power to make a decision. God has given us the power to make a choice. Yeah. So when it comes to, when it comes now to dating, yes, you have to get to know the person, to your likings, and then you have to now involve God, because there are things you do not know about that person. There are things people hide behind closed doors. So that is where God comes in. God is just coming to give you direction, and to some people, there are those people who say they were shown, they had
I
a
don't be
they have they had a vision, that is their husband or that is their wife. But okay, I believe it does exist.
No.
It exists. Yes, it is.
In my circle, there's no one who's ever had
Not,
a dream,
it's not for everybody.
or prophecy or whatever, and
It's
it
not.
came to pass.
It's not for everybody, actually.
But maybe 1% out of 10.
It's not for everybody. I think, and I think most people have come into a point whereby they exaggerate it in a way.
Yeah, because it has misled a lot of people.
Yeah, because for one, you can think about somebody and dream about them. You can have a crush on somebody and dream about them.
Yeah.
You can have infatuations and dream about them. So there are all those things. But you see, mostly it's supposed to be like, if a guy comes and tells you, I was shown you in my dream, you're supposed to be my wife, then you tell them, wait until also God shows me, because it's supposed to be 2 ways.
Then how would you know, like, God has approved of this relationship, or showing you, or because now we've said that dream, unaweza like huyo mtu ama unaweza mfikiria and then you dream about them. Yeah, so how will you know that God has communicated or approved of this relationship?
Okay, most of how visions work, dreams work, when you are being shown about somebody, mostly it's somebody that you haven't even thought about. Someone that you haven't think about, or you even rarely talk, or maybe even you don't even know the person, but you see somebody. Then the day that comes, and now as a lady, when the day comes, you just see the person and you know, oh, this is the guy. I think sometimes, have you ever met somebody and you feel like this somebody is familiar? But you feel like, in real sense, you have not met him.
Yeah, you feel that familiarity feeling.
Yes.
Isn't that demonic?
No.
Evil spirit yako na evil spirit yake zimejuana.
No. Sometimes there are people who call it a deja vu, something.
Yes.
But there are mostly you can find that there are people who will just see a vision. You can be shown somebody, and you will find that it's somebody that you haven't even thought about. But then again, you as a lady, you don't go and tell a guy, I was shown you are my husband. you know, because if a guy was in that position mali anaona there's a way amekuangalia tu hivi anakulike in a way, he might date you because of what you saw, but it's not because of what he feels. So you just pray and you tell God, the way you have shown me this person, I don't know what you actually mean with this dream, but if this person is supposed to come into my life to be my husband or whatever plan that you have, let it manifest and also show him, show him. And then don't even position him yourself to him or anything. No, don't do any of that. Just let God do his work.
Okay, speaking on positioning, you know, a lot of ladies usually don't live their best life because they're trying to package themselves in a way that I want this guy to like me, so I want to behave like the kind of woman he would like. And then you miss out on so much and you start pretending, then so ukiingia kwa marriage, it becomes something else. What can you say about that?
First and foremost, that is very wrong. Because a relationship, it should start in a ground of honesty. And first and foremost, you have to be very honest with yourself. So if you're not honest with yourself, you cannot be honest with somebody else. So I think also it has something to do with identity. You see, so there's that identity crisis. You know that there is this flow that you have. You don't know if this person is going to accept you the way you are. Because now you get into marriage and he finds out you're not what you claim to be, that is now where you open doors. You are even giving the devil the chance to, like, now the husband who wants to cheat, wants to go outside because you lied in the first place. You see, already even that marriage is built on lies, which is not supposed to be like that. Because if you build something in a lie, it will not give you a good harvest. At the end of the day, it's just going to come back to you and hit you back, and it's going to hit bad. And even to some men, they can just decide to just divorce. You see, so I wouldn't advise somebody to get into a relationship whereby because you want this guy to see this perfect to you, you try and be somebody else. That is just trying to live somebody else's life that you are not. Just be yourself. If somebody loves you, they'll just love you the way you are. If they don't, then they're not you. It's not your work.
Yeah, because you can't be good for everyone.
Exactly.
Like even this topic for submission, you can't submit to every man. It should be your husband only.
Yes.
Okay, so what age is good for marriage?
Well, for ladies, I would say 23. But there are ladies who get married at 22. Though it depends with the what you call maturity, the level of somebody else's maturity. Because you can even find somebody who is 25 and they're still thinking like kids. Somebody is 24 but still thinks like. I wouldn't advise somebody who is 20 or 21 or even 22 to actually start getting married because that is the age I think this is the age somebody ametoka, if kama it's high school, ametoka high school ama anajaribu sasa ku, like, they are just getting excited, yeah, out of they're inside the rules, now they're outside. There's no more rules that they were in school. Now they are trying to feel the freedom and understanding how is the world working. And to some are going to campus, so they need to starting to focus on campus. So there's a big change that is happening. So I wouldn't advise somebody to get into a romantic relationship that is heading to marriage at that age.
And for ladies who are above 30, like, okay, yeah, what would you tell them? Because a lot of them would feel pressure and would rush into dating, into marriage because they want to get married because they feel like their time is running out.
You shouldn't rush, and uh, you shouldn't Because okay, rushing, first of all, rushing into marriage, there's a high possibility you're going to get married to the wrong person.
100%.
Yes. So first and foremost, you need to focus on yourself. So when you're focusing on yourself and building yourself as a person, there comes a times whereby these things they just find you along the way. I know our families actually pressure us to get married. When are you getting married?
Disemba inakuja, unaulizwa mbona hujakuja na mgeni? Mgeni ako wapi?
Wewe ndo unawakataa, unatoa. Why are you refusing these people?
Hata wendi ushago tena juu hataki kuulizwa maswali.
Exactly. And you see, it's actually inafanya the family not to be united anymore because already there's that pressure. But I would really say that the families shouldn't pressure somebody to get married, and especially ladies, because I think that is it's I would say it's a case for ladies most of the time. Men they don't have that problem.
They
Mostly they don't.
Yeah.
But for ladies, you yourself also don't give yourself that pressure to get married because you saw your friend, your best friend maybe is younger than you and just got married, and because why am I not getting married? And why am I not getting a serious man? Or why am I not getting? No, it is not like that. You need to be patient. You need to know that you need to invest in yourself and choose you first. Choose yourself first. Get to learn who you are. Figure out yourself. Grow, and also make sure you at least do research. Learn things that will empower you as a woman. Because you also ask yourself when you get married, what are you going to put on the table?
Untie the table.
Because at the end of the day, you're not going to eat love.
No, I'm the table, Bana. I'm the table. I carry
eat.
the man, I carry his kids, I make his.
No.
What else will I be bringing to the table?
Okay, when I say putting on the table, I don't mean necessarily financially, but of which is good as well because life happens. And we live in reality, and your husband, you can get married and maybe you find somebody getting married and then their husband all of a sudden they no longer want to, or maybe they lost the job. You see, now what is going to happen if maybe you are not working? You see where now that comes in. Okay, there's a financial way of that which is very important. I know many people don't like talking about it, but it's very important at least to have something of your own as a woman, that you don't get to the point you are asking for everything. Like there are those things that you just need to do it by yourself. You don't need to call your husband each and every time, or even maybe you have a joint account. Every time he has to see that you have removed this money, and you have to explain why you have removed that money, what was it for, and maybe it's something very important you needed to do. And some things are very, let me say, petty, let me put it like that. And there are things for us women who also we want to do, and it's just us. You want to feel as a woman. And despite of having a job, that is having a job, at least having a source of income, or even having a business, which is very important. And apart from that, I would say that what you bring in the table now, there is now the submission. Submitting to your husband. You're respecting that husband. You're cooking for him. You are taking care of the family. That is putting something on the table. You're complementing each other. You see, because you're coming in as you are complete. He's coming as he's complete. So what you're doing is complement each other. He has come from work, maybe he had just had a bad day, just need somebody to talk to. At least be there, that he has somebody to talk to. So that he feels that even when he's working, anajiuliza, time yafika, ya kutoka job itafika saa ngapi, just go home to my wife, As in, you get into a point even you become friends in a way that now you don't even, some things they just come naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa sawa. So what's your parting shot on Christian dating? Or what advice can you give people who are looking are in marriageable age?
Okay. I would say this. First of all, um, once you accept there's a life you leave behind, and when you leave that kind of life behind, you become a different person. You have to sacrifice some things.
Like?
Like you have to now live a purity life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have to live a purity life and know that you are the prize as a woman. The moment you allow yourself to be intimate with a guy and he's planning to marry you, forget about that marriage. He has already gotten whatever he wanted, so forget that. Just forget about it. So keep yourself and also ask God to give you a man that is that has a relationship with God. Many people go to church, but actually they don't have a relationship with God. So get a man that has a relationship with God. And when I'm saying having a relationship with God, it also means it has also to reflect on you. You also have to have a relationship with God because you cannot ask God for something that you're not. You have to ask God for something that you are. So that even if when you get into that point, now you can appreciate what God has given you.
Okay, sawa sawa. Thank you for coming and thank you for that profound advice. I hope Miss Kia and I hope you do what you've heard from her. And I hope you've learned a thing or two in it upside in life. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Ciao.